Hello everyone, my name is Fabo and welcome to Slender, the 8 Pages. Now, this was one of the first Slender games and a classic on YouTube, and let's get into it. When I was looking for this game, it turned out it got removed from Steam because of some copyright conflict with other Slender game dev or some other Slender user, and so it got removed. I'm playing a version I found on some archive website. I do not know how safe this website is or how trustworthy, but according to my antivirus, the files didn't contain any malware code. So yeah, in this game we are in a forest and we need to collect 8 pages. And after collecting the first page, we get hunted by the Slenderman, which is basically just a tall person who is bald, has very pale skin, is wearing a suit and has no face. So, just for the people who don't know who Slender is. And this game originally released in 2013, I think. And the original Slender came from some drawing contest where someone just got the idea to draw someone without a face. And in this game we basically need to look for the pages, and when we see Slender nearby we need to look away, and Slender gets more aggressive the more pages you collect. Like for example, if we collect this one, we start to get hunted by Slender and the music gets more eerie. And we need to be careful where we are looking because Slender could be anywhere. So now we need to look out for Slender, just look away fast when he arrives. Okay. There's no page here. And this game is very difficult. The more pages you get, the more difficult it becomes. And there are other Slender games, for example Slender the Arrival, that got I don't know if it was a remake or remaster, but there was a new version released a while ago. And Slender the Arrival was also one of the first Slender games. And now we just need to look for more pages. Well, it lagged for a moment. I think this might indicate that Slender appeared, but I don't know. There are also different versions of Slender. For example, I know that there was a version, I don't know if it was an official version or not, but in some version Slender also has tentacles growing from his back. And I guess that's how he kills his victims in some versions. There are also was a Slenderman movie in, I think it was 2019. But as far as I know, it wasn't that popular. Personally, I didn't watch it, so I can't talk about how good or bad it was, or even about the story. And I want to play this because, for one, I feel very nostalgic about the 2013 till 2016 or 17 era of YouTube, which this is part of, but also because this game was very important for media, because it was part of the games that shaped the future of indie horror games. I also saw lots of references for this game or this franchise in other games. For example, in Minecraft, it's obviously the Enderman, who was inspired by Slender, which also came with some Minecraft maps, some Minecraft mods, and some servers. I only recall one server where I played it, because typically those minigame servers don't last or only end up having the same minigames long term. And basically, the Minecraft version of Slender was usually called Ender because of the Enderman, and because the Enderman is based on Slender. You'd also collect pages, and Endermen also don't like when you look at them, and you get a similar sound effect when you stare at them. And there also, I don't know if it was Minecraft or just a parody in general, there was also something called Blender or Blenderman, because it also sounds similar. I think it's just a meme, but I don't know for sure about that one. And I think I just saw bits of Slender because it just changed the screen a bit. Another example of Slender in other games was in Choo Choo Charles, another indie horror game, which released like, I think it was 2 years ago or 3 years, I don't know, but around that amount of time. And there you also have a quest where you need to go into a haunted forest and retrieve 8 pages to banish the spirit there. And essentially it's the same, but just about some ghost from a dead woman. And she doesn't kill you, but just, I think it was teleportation, but she just moves you outside of the forest. And Choo Choo Charles doesn't enter that forest in that game for some reason. Maybe because Charles isn't ready for other curses. I also remember around the time of Slender, there also was another game, but for Android, where you essentially had the same gameplay, but instead of Slender, it was some ghost girl. And instead of pages, you needed to collect stuff. There were 2 versions of the game. Well, not 2 versions, but 2 game modes. And in one game mode, you were collecting magical crystals and would perform a ritual to banish the spirit of the girl. And that would basically be a long-term solution for the curse. And in the other game mode, we were collecting stuff like a gasoline tank, some generator or engine or motor, and some tools and other stuff like that, and just prepared your getaway from the island. That game was called, I think it was called Forest, so just Forest. I found it when I looked up the game The Forest, And when I looked up the Forest Ghost Girl game last week to find it again, it turned out it wasn't on Google Play anymore. So I guess it got removed. But there are still gameplay videos of that game up on YouTube. But I don't know what happened to the game. But yeah, that was also a very Slender-like game. But also, I don't actually know if this game is beatable. Like, I do think that maybe you can collect all 8 pages, but only if you have lots of luck and skill. But as far as I know, this game doesn't have a good ending or something like that. I think you just end up dying anyway. Which is also what lots of games planned back in the day. Like, for example, in Five Nights at Freddy's, the original plan was that there was no ending for beating the game because Scott didn't plan to, but he eventually just added the paycheck screens, but the original plan was for the player to die. And for example, well, not indie but horror in general, you die in the main game of lots of horror games. I will be putting I do warn you of spoilers for some horror games. So, for example, in the Outlast series, you end up dying in the main game. Basically, you don't always get a happy ending, even though you do everything you can. There's a happy ending in the Outlast Whistleblower DLC, but not in the main game. And in Outlast 2, which was released years later, but still is part of the same series, you just end up... Did I go a full circle? I think so. And in Outlast 2, you just end up going insane and probably die. Is there a tunnel? I used to be afraid of... Oh, I think that was Slender. I used to be very afraid of this game back in the day. But by the time I'm playing this, I already played lots of horror games, like the Outlast series, 3 of the Resident Evil games. I played Amnesia, The Dark Descent, I played Tattletale, I played lots of horror games. And at this point it doesn't really faze me that much anymore. I mean, I still do jump when something happens, but at this point, again, I'm not afraid as much as I'm playing, but more just in a moment of a jump scare. And I think this is one of the areas where you can die more easily because of the maze structure, because of you possibly getting locked in if Slender is behind you. And I think it's also a factor in how close he is. Oh. They run out of... Yeah, as I said, I'm not as scared as I play the game, but more just in the moment I see just in the moment I see him, that's when it goes bad. Yeah, I used to be very paranoid about just being in the game, and I will not try to beat the game. I will play until I die, and after that I will just react to the ending because I didn't see it yet. Okay, he's in there. Because there's no way I'll beat this, especially considering how slow you move and how scattered the pages are, and especially now that I have no flashlight. There's also, like, maybe if you collect... what I did read was that if you collect all pages, you do... Ah! What? What I was trying to say was that if you do get all pages, that you unlock some daylight mode, but I don't know if that was actually implemented or if this was just a plan for the future. And apparently Slender can just catch you when he catches up to you, because I didn't see him until I just got the jump scare. So now I will react to the actual ending of the game, because again, there's no way I will beat this game anytime soon. And now I will react to the ending. Did I miss one at the tunnel? Because I didn't find anything inside. Or at least not, at least I don't remember. Oh. So now the music stops. Is it turning to daytime? Oh. So there is no good ending. Interesting. So that's it for today's video. Please like and subscribe to support me. I will link this video in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!